Hey, and welcome to A Positive Thought. I created this daily podcast because life is hard and it's actually impossible to be positive all the time. But I hope today's thought will give us a chance to stop, reflect, and have a moment of gratitude in our day, even if that moment is small, because we're all a work in progress. This is just a reminder, not professional advice. I'm your host, Candice B. And today's thought is stop saying yes to things you hate. Now, there are very specific circumstances where I can squint and tilt my head and kind of see why you might say yes to something you hate to keep the peace or to help someone. But in general, I just think it's a terrible idea. Doing things you hate never leads to positive feelings. You're more likely to be exhausted, feel resentment, and be burnt out and bitter. Nothing about that is good. We are on this earth for a small amount of time, and statistically, we're going to suffer in some way because that's just a part of living on earth. So I question why you would freely give up the limited amount of time you have to be happy doing things you hate. Of course, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. You know you shouldn't continue to say yes to things you hate. There's a reason you do it, and you should probably identify that. It's my opinion that every reason falls under the fact that you lack boundary setting skills. That's something I probably want to dedicate an entire episode to one day. But what I will say is setting boundaries will help you in every relationship in your life. It's so important that you start thinking about what your boundaries are and how to enforce them. You also have to know the point that will make you walk away, because without that, your boundary isn't really a boundary. Now, underneath that boundary umbrella, we have being a people pleaser. I'll admit, and I think I've said this before, but I am not a people pleaser. I never have been, because it's just not my personality. So I don't have personal experience with breaking that cycle. I think it's worth researching and exploring and maybe finding a therapist to talk to, because it's not good to put everyone's feelings and desires above your own. Other types of people who probably struggle with saying no to things they hate in a similar way are codependent people, perfectionists, introverts, and people who fear rejection. I think all of those things cause you to say yes when you want to say no. Maybe you can start by examining the fear you feel when you upset people with the word no, and put that against the feelings you feel when you agree to things you don't enjoy. I've also noticed that people who feel a misplaced sense of responsibility or obligation say yes to things they hate a lot as well. It seems to always be something like, I do this because they helped me in the past, or this person raised me. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be grateful for the help you receive in life, nor am I saying you shouldn't show your appreciation to the people who raised you. What I am saying is that neither of those things makes you obligated to do something you don't want to do. It just doesn't. That person made a choice to help you. And when it comes to that, they shouldn't expect anything back but a happy and well-adjusted person. And a part of being a happy, well-adjusted person is choosing yourself when it's most important. The next time you find yourself about to agree to something you hate, change your answer. It's that simple. Try no, which is a complete sentence. Or if you want to soften the blow a little, try saying something nicer like, not this time, that doesn't work for me, or I can't make it. Don't apologize though. It's okay to not want to do things. And it's okay to disappoint people sometimes. That's life. Tell me if you think this is just mean and not positive at all. Or tell me if you've stopped saying yes to things you hate on Twitter or Instagram at apositivethoughtpod. And please share this podcast with at least one person who you think needs to hear it, because I would appreciate that so much. Until tomorrow, that's today's positive thought.